inline-six means that there is a way more linear power band, so the car doesn't have to downshift very often. In the torque band, there's always available torque low on the RPMs, so it is just very predictable. You get a bunch of drive modes here, including an eco, comfort, and sport. You can customize your steering, your chassis, the engine, and just throwing it in this corner. Holy crap, this thing handles incredibly well. Keep in mind that the M adaptive suspension is an option. I think it is a must-take feature because that means that when you're in comfort mode, it becomes very tame and soft over these roads, very easy to live with. You don't get it, it sits on the rather harsher side, but with the adaptive suspension option, you can have the best of both. Just put it back in Sport Plus, and it becomes stiff again, and you can feel the road quite a bit, not overly harsh, but it's a great mix of both worlds. BMW absolutely nailed it with the chassis tuning here. It feels balanced, it feels nimble, it's very light on its feet. It has quite a short wheelbase and a low curb weight relative to the other BMWs, making it feel way more playful than the other options. The way this thing is tuned feels a bit more aggressive than the M340 and the M440, down to the transmission, the downshift here, very sharp shifts. I love the buds. You feel the shifts in your back every single time it upshifts. Downshift, very fast. You forget that it's a torque converter and not a dual clutch because the CF 8-speed is stupid fast. Downshift. Let's go down into first gear. Send it. Yeah, this thing is ridiculous. It is so good. And it's also very smooth, unlike most dual clutch transmissions. Put it back into comfort, and it is such a good daily car. Even though this M204i features BMW xDrive all-wheel drive, it feels very much like a rear-wheel drive BMW, especially when you put it into Sport Plus mode. And you turn on traction control, which we won't do right now, but it allows you to get that rear end right around the corner. It yaws in the middle. There's a 50-50 weight distribution to this car, so it doesn't feel like a typical all-wheel drive. Most of the power is still sent to the rear wheels. In fact, you can easily get the back end swinging out. You can get it oversteered a little bit, and it feels just as playful as all the other rear-wheel drive sport cars out there. This xDrive system doesn't take away from the fun of the car. It gives you that grip and safety when you need to, and that confidence in the corner, but when you want to have fun, you can still definitely do so. A lot of the reason why it's still so easy to slide is with the introduction of the LSE for the G chassis M240s, and with realistically over 400 horsepower, you can find yourself burning through tires very quickly if you wanted to power slide everywhere you go. The all-wheel drive again doesn't intrude on any of the driving dynamics. It truly embodies BMW's ultimate driving machine philosophy. If you were ever curious and looked up the weight of this car, it's actually 3,800 pounds, which makes this thing pretty heavy considering that it is a two-door compact sports car. But it doesn't feel that way. If you didn't look it up, you would never know that it weighs this much. BMW did a great job of hiding its weight. The steering is spot on. It is very precise and sharp. I like the weight to the steering rack. You're just able to feel exactly where you're turning. The suspension is on the firmer side, and the chassis tuning really goes a long way here. BMW, in my opinion, is only second to Porsche in terms of chassis tuning. It's what makes Porsches with 400 horsepower and various cars that make 3 times the power around the Nürburgring. You can really tell that BMW has put a lot of time and money engineering these G chassis cars and fine-tuning everything to perfection. And unlike the M340 and the M440, this isn't the mild hybrid, which means you can still turn off auto stop start if you want to. You still get amazing fuel economy. It averages 23 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway. But I've consistently been able to achieve over 35 miles per gallon on every single highway drive. This is better fuel economy than cars like the Hyundai Elantra N, which makes half the power basically. I don't know how they do it, but these B58 inline sixes are so good on gas. The B58 is such a good balance of daily livability and performance. The exterior on the M240 is arguably one of BMW's best looking coupes, in my opinion of course. The muscular stance, the aggressive front end, and the sleek silhouette delivers a very modern Yeah, timeless aesthetic. I can just imagine like a front lip and a duckbill in this car. It would just look absolutely gorgeous, especially the front end. I do like the front end of the M240 more than the 3 Series and the 4 Series. The back end, I do prefer the one on the M340 and the M440. But overall, I think it's still a great looking coupe. You get 19-inch wheels and these big Brembo 4-piston brakes. It really fills up those wheel wells. I think overall, the M240 looks absolutely great, especially in the skyscraper gray color, which I think is really underrated.
Start with a 50% deposit bonus. Increase your investing power with Pocket Broker. 100 plus investing assets, instant top up and withdrawal with no fees.
Get the top restaurants in town delivered straight to your door. Download the Food Panda app and order food you love.
Underrated. Inside the M240 is quintessentially still a BMW. Very driver focused, high quality interior, and very intuitive tech. The seating position is absolutely perfect. I like how nice and low you can go. The steering wheel comes out nice and far. You get your thigh extension here and your adjustable power bolstering. It is very driver orientated. You sit like you're in a race car. I like how the cabin surrounds you. This is equipped with the carbon fiber inlays here, so it looks gorgeous in this M240. And for these black Bernesca leather seats, you get these red accents in them as well. It looks very sporty. And I believe the 2025 for all these M light cars is this red racing strip here and a flat bottom D steering wheel. I think it looks very good, and I like how thick the steering wheel is. And now that I'm looking at it, you get these M color stitching and an M badge on the bottom. It's not overly fancy. There isn't any polished aluminum vents and buttons everywhere. It's much more simple. It's very driver orientated. Everything kind of faces you. The screen is tilted towards you a little bit. You got this updated shifter in here, which is this chicken nugget style shifter. I don't really mind it. You just click down for drive and up for reverse, and then you can press to park. And then when you click onto the driver buttons, the graphics on the screen are incredible. They're very clean, they're very modern, it looks fresh, and it looks like a video game almost. This whole system is running on iDrive 8.5, which is one of the best UIs out there. Very fast, very easy to use. And then you get your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course, as standard. The screen is massive, it's very wide, and you can control it not only with the touch screen, but with this iDrive controller here, which is great because sometimes when you're driving, you don't really want to reach all the way there or you're going over a bumpy road. It's easy to misclick a button. So I like how they've included both options. Sometimes the touch screen is a lot quicker to use. Your climate control has moved onto the screen, but it's a fixed menu at the bottom. So you're not digging through any menus to change your climate. In the middle, you get this full digital display and you get a bunch of different layouts that you can go through. And you have a bunch of contents that you can change, including your G-force meter, your navigation, your audio, and you can also view your Apple CarPlay maps, not only here, but in the middle here, and you can also run Waze with that. Up top, you get a really nice and bright heads-up display, and you can have your rev counter up there, or your navigation info, or your music and audio. So you have so many different methods of viewing information in this car. You also get a really nice and crispy 360 camera here, and also get your automatic parking and your backup assistance. There's also automatic emergency braking. It's pretty much impossible to hit anything when you're parking this car. And you also get your drive recorder, which uses all the cameras in the car essentially as a dash camera in case there's an accident. It's super high tech. It's basically a computer on wheels, but it doesn't take away from that driving experience like a lot of other cars. It really just enhances it. You get these Harman Kardon speakers in here as well. They sound absolutely amazing. Very powerful bass and very crispy audio. And the installation here is incredible. When you honk the horn, all the windows close, and you're just playing a bit of music, you kind of can't hear it at all. You also have a pretty big sunroof up here, and it keeps the cabin nice and bright. And then you also get a bunch of ambient lighting colors in here. All the colors are very neutral looking. I wish they included more color options here though, but I still love how it looks. You get a wireless charger in the middle here, your two cup holders here, which isn't in the way of the shifter or anything, but there's a USB port right beside the cup holder. So what BMW did assistance an option. The rear seats, to be honest, are not that bad. It's nice having them, unlike the Lancia and Supra, where you just don't have the option of putting anyone in the back. I can fit behind myself, not very comfortably, but it works. The trunk is actually pretty damn big. You get 13.8 cubic feet of space. That's a lot of space to run daily errands or weekend getaways. Nowadays, most cars I drive, whether it's a 700 horsepower boat or an electric dumpster on wheels, I still find pretty dull to drive. There isn't really much of an emotional connection like you find here. Driving the 2025 M204i, I honestly feel like I'm reconnecting with what made us car enthusiasts in the first place. Sure, on paper, some of the other more high-tech electric rivals might accelerate a bit faster, it might boast a fancy, flashier interior, but raw speed isn't the only metric to measure driving joy. This coupe provides something numbers can't quite capture: genuine excitement. It's a car that will consistently keep putting a smile on your face every single time you push that start button. Every aspect, from its finely tuned chassis to this extremely powerful V8 engine to the tech-rich driver-focused interior, everything